Omari, great to see you. First question, really. How has the squad reacted to the weekend and losing the two-goal lead ultimately?
Obviously, after the game, it was more of like a loss. The way we dropped 2 points. So that's something that we've been working on. Obviously, prior to that, it was obviously it was massively devastating at the time. So, but since then, it's always been positive. We got to stay positive. And we just got to make sure that it doesn't happen again. And we got to keep relaying on the things to make sure that it doesn't happen again.
Absolutely. You're right to look forward and be positive. I suppose just one more question on that in terms of I know you ultimately won the game against Cheltenham, but the same thing ultimately happened. As a player, how conscious are you of that in terms of it's happened a couple of times now, we can't let it happen again?
Well, that's the mindset that we have to have in these games. Where if it does happen, we can't drop our heads and look to the past because that's when things can keep happening again, and we don't want it to be continuous. So, as long as we stick to our principles and we stick together as a team and drive each other on the pitch, it shouldn't happen again. Obviously, football is football. If it does happen again, we have to react a lot better than we have reacted so we can go on like the Cheltenham and go on to win these games and not drop 2 points.
There's lots of strong characters, great players in this squad. So what discussions have you had in terms of game management?
But I think we all got to have a responsibility for 90 minutes, not 70 odd minutes. We all got to stick together for 90 minutes. Everything that we do, we've got to make sure that it's maintained. However that is, every game is also going to look different. Um, Playing styles are different. But ultimately, we have to make sure that we stick together for 90 minutes and stick to the principles what the gaffer's telling us. And that's from us, staff also, just everyone as a collective to maintain that belief through 90 minutes.
And on the positive note, as you alluded to, the goals are coming. 6 games in a row, the team has scored. Now, only 4 teams in the division have scored more. So certainly from an attacking sense, does it feel like you really are gelling as a squad?
Yeah, I mean, we're scoring goals. We're always creating opportunity to score goals. But like I said, we're a team. So if we're conceding goals, we're also doing that as a team. And attackers who are scoring goals and the opportunities that we're creating, we feel as responsible as for letting the goals in the back of the net. So it's something that we need to all come around together. We can't just sit here and say, "Oh, we're scoring goals," but we're also conceding goals. If it was the other way around, it'd be exactly the same thing. So we just need to make sure that as a collective, we're not conceding as many goals and we're still creating chances to score them.
I suppose on that note, when Andy Crosby came in last year, there was such an emphasis on clean sheets, and you guys did
Mhm.
so well in that regard. Does it feel, or do your games feel a bit more open this year, perhaps?
Um, it's hard to say because obviously depending on the position you're playing, everybody's gonna have a different perspective. So I'm gonna have a different perspective. Someone who's playing middle centre back's gonna have what someone's playing up front. Everyone's gonna have a different perspective. When we do look at the games, we do see that sometimes it's open, but a lot of the games we are defending really well. I think it's all to do with maintaining it for 90 minutes. I think that's our biggest focus.
And in terms of the goal scoring, Charlie Whittaker's has taken on that mantle in the last few games. What's he like to play with when he's at his best?
Yeah, Chaz is brilliant. He's an attacking player. He's very creative. If he's on it, he's always going to create chances, and it's our job as his teammate to provide him with the best him really, and he's going to try things. Sometimes it might not pull off, and sometimes it's going to pull off. That's just the type of player he is. So as long as we keep his confidence high and he keeps his own confidence high, he's always going to be a danger to other teams.
And you've had that spell at Tranmere as well, amongst the players that again, amongst the goals. Can you tell there's that, when you say about being him, I guess, can you
Mhm.
tell there is that aura about them?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, every player is different, and he's one of them players um, that always needs to be confident, always needs to feel like if he makes a mistake, it's not so much of a big deal. Get on it and keep doing it again. And when you have players like that, they can always produce magic. You said that myself has been like that. I've been like that. I've had my times I've been really confident. Had my times where I've not been so confident. So as a type of player that is kind of similar to him in terms of attacking, I know how important it is to keep his confidence high. So yeah, it's definitely like a partnership between me and him. Other people, obviously defenders and stuff, might not know how to keep his confidence high. But like I said, as a collective, if we can keep everybody's confidence high, not just Charlie's, and everybody will play a lot better, I feel.
That brings me nicely to actually asking you about yourself, really. By your own standards, it is a bit of a barren spell at the moment. 6 games without a goal in the league. I know, of course, you scored against Stockport in the FA Cup. You must be very keen to change that.
Yeah, definitely. I always want to score goals. I'm an attacking player. I do want to be as creative as possible, but um, at the moment, my role has changed slightly. So I have to do the demands of the game and do the demands of what the manager is saying. Um, can be frustrating at times, but it's not about individuals, it's about the team. So if that's what the team needs, I'll always do my best to try and give what the team needs. If it's not quite working out, I'm sure the manager will change it but as long as I have his trust, I'm always gonna try and do what I can do and try and be that attacking player when I can.
I was going to say on your role because I appreciate, of course, you played left wing back last season as well. I only asked that just because you were still scoring the goals last year. Obviously, many spectacular ones in there, but that just shows your adaptability. And as you said, Andy Crosby has his full trust in you, whatever position. How proud of you of that ability to perform to such a high standard in whatever role you're playing in?
I mean, yeah, it's definitely it's always nice to have a manager's trust. It's something that a player always needs. You don't always have that through your careers, have a manager that trusts you so much. So the fact that he does trust me to play that role or play an attacking role, more of an attacking role, it definitely brings confidence in me. Um, and when I am frustrated, and he knows when I'm frustrated, and maybe other people can see it also. He's always the person that reassures me, Parky as well, staff that reassures me that I can still do attacking bits and they're putting me in this position for a certain reason. And as long as I trust that and they trust me, then I always give my 100%.
And just lastly, from me, Omari, of course, the Grimsby game tomorrow, but then there's a bit of a break, and then, of course, a crazily busy period as Christmas always is. The league, even though you're coming up to about halfway through, it still feels in a relatively early stage.
Yeah.
How much confidence is there within the squad that a good run of results really can change the complexion of this season?
100%. I mean, in this league, I've been in this league for a minute now, so it always changes. People that are down there at Christmas isn't exactly always the people that are down there at the end of the season. So as long as I mean, me personally, I don't really look at the league like that. I go game by game. Other people might be different, but we always big each other up and look at each other, say that what a squad that we have. Just if we do the right things in the right moments and stay as a collective, I have no doubt that we have enough to push as much as we can.